everyone, and in today's video we'll be talking about Galaxy News Network, a corporation from Fallout, Fallout 2, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76. Galaxy News Network was one of the most prominent corporations in pre-war America. Galaxy News Network was a mass media corporation with many distinct divisions, one such example being Galaxy News Radio. Galaxy News Network was pro-government in the way it told the news and always made the government look like the good guys. A prime example of this behavior is when Galaxy News Network used their TV program to broadcast a video of American soldiers executing a Canadian rebel and claiming it to be keeping the peace in the newly annexed Canada. Another example of this is when a massive amount of radioactive pollutant ended up in the Charles River drainage basin. This caused mutation in local crustacean life. Galaxy News Network tried to spin this story to make the government look better. Although the Galaxy News Network stopped operating after the Great War, many of their programs played on repeat for years after the Great War. John Henry Eden used the old stories run by Galaxy News Network to help him create his presidential persona. Now let's talk about Galaxy News Network in each of the Fallout games that they appear in. Now remember how Galaxy News Network aired footage of American soldiers killing a Canadian rebel? Well, that is actually from the original Fallout game in the original Fallout game's intro, and here that is. And strangely enough, that is the only real reference or mention to Galaxy News Network in the original Fallout game, although there is more lore to go over in Fallout 2. At the Sierra Army Depot in Fallout 2, in the third level of the building robotics in the command center, you will find a transcript of Galaxy News Network news reports, and I will be reading through each of them individually. Transcriptive broadcast January 11th, 2073. Today's top story on Galaxy News Network: in a financial coup, the US managed to be the first to tap the world's last remaining supply of oil. Until recently, this reserve of oil was thought to be unobtainable, due to this deposit being located thousands of feet beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean. With the world's supply of oil nearing depletion, a race to be the first to create a method to extract this deposit ensued. We at Galaxy News Network are proud to announce that the US is the first to do so, and thus claim the oil as property of the United States. Way to go, US! China cries foul as news of the success circulates around the globe. According to President Xin of China, their drilling platform project was scheduled for completion months before the US project. However, the Chinese platform had a string of unfortunate accidents, delaying their project significantly. President Xin is also quoted in saying that he has definite proof that the US was behind the sabotage of their oil platform, and formally requests that an international panel be appointed to investigate. In other news, riots rock the nation as gasoline prices skyrocket to all-time highs. Records were broken as the price of gas surpassed the current rate of gold bullion. Here at home, the winter temperature is a chilly 100 to 110 Fahrenheit, with lows reaching a freezing 90 Fahrenheit along the coast. Dress warmly today. Now for the second transcripted broadcast. Transcriptive broadcast, June 24th, 2074. Negotiations between the US and other world powers has come to a dramatic end, with the president walking out of oil talks with the other world powers. After a much heated debate, the president stormed out of the meeting and declared that the last known supply of petroleum will be used exclusively by the US, and the US will not sell or trade any oil to outside parties. Threats of UN sanctions fall on deaf ears. History screeches to a halt across the globe as oil reserves are depleted. The cries of the desperate, however, do not fall upon deaf ears, as exports from the US increase 20-fold, despite UN sanctions. The US economy is seeing its greatest growth since the Reagan era. Now for the third transcribed broadcast. Transcript of broadcast February 14th, 2075. History was made today as Canada, by popular demand of its citizens, agreed to be annexed by the US. The president is quoted saying as Canada is one of the world's greatest sources of hockey players and will be a welcome addition to the US. In return, sources say Canada will receive a full 10% of the world's remaining supply of oil, controlled exclusively by the US, as well as 50% reduction in taxes since they are now under US tax laws. In sports today, the Little Rock Saints and the Anaheim Jets battled it out at Super Bowl 112. It was a real nail-biter, but Jay Montana 4 managed to save the day by running the ball all the way from the 5-yard line to score the winning touchdown during the final seconds of the game. The final score, 95-90, the Anaheim Jets win Super Bowl 112. And now for the fourth transcribed broadcast. Transcriptive broadcast February 15th, 2075. In a stunning display of solidarity, the House of Representatives and Congress both voted unanimously to impeach the president for jaywalking. Both houses stated that the president is not above the law and should have known better than to jaywalk. Both sides deny that this had anything to do with the recent annexation of Canada. Now for the fifth transcript. Transcriptive broadcast March 30, 2076. Today, the President ordered the Pacific Fleet to the Poseidon deep-sea oil derrick, located at a secret location out in the Pacific. He cited concerns over that military exercise staged by the Chinese fleet are unacceptably close to our strategic oil reserves. The Chinese government denied any hostile intentions. A recent poll suggests that 54% of Galaxy News Network viewers think that the president is using this as a diversionary tactic to take the public's eye off the president's recent omission to having multiple external affairs with campaign staffers. Our poll also suggests that 70% don't care about these affairs and are happy with the way the president is running the country. A whopping 60% also think that he should keep having these affairs if this is what it takes to keep the country running smoothly. Now for the fifth transcribed broadcast. Transcript of broadcast October 10, 2077. War. A state of war is declared as China invades the United States by way of Alaska. Protests by the US fall on deaf ears as the UN Council chooses to ignore this blatant act of aggression. The President of the United States is calling on you to help defend our country against those that would do harm to her. You are urged to go down to your local recruiting office and join the armed forces. Uncle Sam needs you for justice, for freedom, and for Mum's apple pie. Now for the final transcripted broadcast. Transcriptive broadcast October 22, 2077. Thanks to the brave souls of the armed forces and our newly developed power-armored combat suits, US forces have pushed back the Chinese invaders. Crippled by lack of fuel, US forces have pushed the invaders back to their home capital of Beijing. These transcripts are the only pieces of lore about Galaxy News Network within Fallout 2. But let's talk about Fallout 3. Galaxy News Radio, or GNR as 3Dog would say, was a pre-war radio station owned by Galaxy News Network in Washington, D.C. In 2277, 3Dog repurposes this old location to become a community-based radio station focused on giving people tips to survive the wasteland and talking about recent events that happened within the wasteland itself. This will be the last bit of lore for Fallout 3 and the beginning of Fallout 4, as this piece of lore spans both games. Earlier in the video, I mentioned that John Henry Eden used the stories from Galaxy News Network to create his presidential persona, and here is actual evidence of this happening. Also, I did not take this footage myself, I got it off of YouTube, and there will be a link in the description, as well as credit on screen during the video.
Hello again, America. This is John Henry Eden, your president. There are some things we should talk about, if that's all right. I've been thinking quite a bit lately about something we can all relate to, something that is unquestionably, inescapably American. I am referring, of course, to our great national pastime, baseball.
It's probably that salesman. He comes for you every day.
Something that is unquestionably, inescapably American. I'm referring, of course, to our great national pastime, baseball.
Pre-war, Gunners Plaza was a local broadcasting station serving Boston for Galaxy News Network and Telecoms Communications Incorporated. In 2287, the Gunners, led by West, took over the location. Silver Shroud Radio uses reruns of Galaxy News Radio Silver Shroud audio drama, as well as using a Galaxy News Radio intro. The only thing left to talk about is that in both Fallout 4 and 76, there are advertisements in-game about Galaxy News Network. And that is everything you need to know about Galaxy News Network from the first Fallout to the latest. I hope you all enjoyed. This video took a while to make, so I'd appreciate it if you would like and subscribe for more Fallout lore related content. Please write down in the comments if there is any particular thing you would like me to make a video on. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.